Hello friends, this is Heidi with Kiddos Corral, and today I'm starting another monthly prep. So it is time to get ready for the month of October. I'm excited for cooler evenings and heartier foods and lots of pumpkin flavored items to snack on this month. But I got myself a cup of coffee. I really needed a cup of coffee, and it is late afternoon. I am getting started on this a little bit later than I had anticipated, but I had a lot of things I needed to attend to this morning. So the first thing I do is make a list of exactly what I want to get done. You guys know that I buy aluminum pans and you can put them in the freezer. So I'm going to be making 2 pans of stuffed peppers for the month. I'm going to be making a large pan of lasagna, and the reason why I'm making a large pan of lasagna is because I'm having company this Sunday, and you know, sometimes when you're going to have an extra mouth to feed or extra people over, I feel like pasta is really an excellent choice. There's very few people that don't enjoy lasagna. I want to make a couple loaves of banana bread, and I don't have it on this paper, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to make some drinks for the fridge. I always make a gallon of iced tea. Sometimes I don't share that with you guys. The reason being it's not really that exciting, but I am going to do that. And I also have a lot of fruit and veggies that I just want to tend to. I bought a giant bag of broccoli. I want to just measure that out, and I want to freeze some of it as well as keep some of it out in the refrigerator to eat on. And I also want to freeze a big portion of my greens that I bought. I bought a big giant thing of greens. I like that for my shakes for the month, so I'm going to be freezing some of that. And I've got some carrots that I need to peel and slice, and I need to figure out exactly how much I need to have that pre-prepared, you know, for stews and soups or anything that I'm going to use that in. So I'm going to get started with probably going to do the lasagna first because, or excuse me, I'll probably do the stuffed peppers first because I will have to put those in the oven for a while. So I'll probably start with that, and then I'll do the lasagna, and then the drinks, and then I most probably will end up ending with the bread because of the fact that the peppers will utilize all my space in my oven for a good hour. So my oven's already preheated because I just fixed some lunch for my son and I, so that's good to go. So all I got to do is get prepping and get things ready to go in the oven. I got my peppers all washed, and I also have them cored, and I'm just letting them dry. Now I am going to mix my filling for 2 pans of stuffed peppers and get those in the aluminum pans and get those wrapped and put into the oven, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, I have my peppers ready. I'm just going to cover this with foil and put it in the oven, and that did not take long at all. I think the most time was probably prepping the peppers, and you certainly can make my recipe of my stuffed peppers where you can stuff the entire pepper like this and just stand it upright like this. I used to do it that way, but I found that cooking time was longer, and so I just half it, and a lot of times I was halving those anyways for each one of us individually because this is a lot of meat and rice. It's very filling, and I like to serve it with something else as well, a lot of times without just having just a you know, just a whole stuffed pepper. But nevertheless, I think this is a great way to get veggies into your kids. My kids love them, my husband loves them, and they're so simple to fix that hey, if it's easier for me, it's easier for me. That's a win-win right there. So I'm going to pop these in the oven. It's already preheated, and then I'm going to get going on my lasagna. I've got my sauce ready, and now I'm about to layer my lasagna noodles. If you guys are wanting to know how I make my lasagna before I put it in the freezer, I will link that recipe down below. It is my lasagna recipe using basically, what do they call them? Let me see here. What do they call them? Oven ready lasagna noodles. Yes, here it is. I wanted to make sure that I told you guys right. Oven ready lasagna noodles, which means you do not have to pre-boil your noodles at all, which is awesome. I know people that use regular lasagna noodles the same way. However, I don't feel, for me personally, that I get the same taste or the same, I think it's more of a texture thing as opposed to when I use this type of lasagna noodle. Everybody has their own preference, and that's mine. So I'm going to go ahead and layer this into my pan, and I'll show you what it looks like before I wrap it up. Okay, there is my lasagna all assembled, and now I'm just going to cover it. Now, what I have found, and this is just another preference of mine, you don't have to do this, but I don't end the last layer with the cheese. So I cover it all, and then I just put it straight in the oven, covered like I'm going to cover it in the freezer, for the freezer, just like that actually. And then the cheese that I wanted to put on the very top here, I add that last. So for like the last 10 minutes of baking, I take the lid off of it, or the aluminum foil, and then I spread the cheese. And I find that whenever I'm making it for company, if I leave the cheese on this and then cover it in the foil, when I go to remove the foil, it pulls the layer of cheese off the top, and it's not as aesthetically pretty for company. So what I do is I add the cheese 10 minutes at the end of cooking time, and I just bag whatever this is up, and I just make sure that I put it in the freezer so I know that I have it. Okay, so now I am prepping my veggies and getting those kinds of things done. These are green peppers for my Philly steak. This is broccoli for my broccoli soup. My Sharpie didn't work very well on the fronts here. And so now what I'm doing is I'm going ahead, and I have all of my carrots. I have stopped buying processed carrots, meaning the little tiny mini carrots that you buy in a bag. I read a very disturbing article about how they soak them in chlorine to make them shiny, and that it is making people sick. And I mean, in a way, you kind of have to ask yourself, how do they get those carrots to look the way they do? So I just buy the regular regular carrots, and I've got those peeled, and so now I'm just going to chop them. I'm going to put these in bags for stews that I'm going to eat this month. For instance, I'm going to be making my turkey stew. I want to make sure I have those cut up. And I can't remember what the other recipe was that I needed carrots, but I just want to make sure that I have all that in bags so that I can slip them into the freezer. A lot of people ask me, or say to me, I can't do a month's worth of shopping because all of my produce will go bad and my money will be wasted. A lot of times, if you've watched me for a long time, you guys know I do buy a lot of produce. I buy a lot of carrots and celery and onions and potatoes and all of that kind of thing. Potatoes never go bad on me because we eat them up too fast. Second of all, I never have carrots ever go bad on me in the refrigerator. But I have people in my household that want to eat the carrots, but if I need them for meals, I want to make sure that I get them in a marked bag that says, hey, these are off limits, because and I'm not trying to keep my kids from eating carrots. I just want to make sure that they know, hey, I don't want to have to go to the refrigerator and all of a sudden all my carrots are gone and I don't have it for my soup this month. So there will be a bag that they can actually eat, and then there'll be a bag that's for my soups and so on. One thing is I freeze a lot of produce. I wash a lot of produce, cut it up. Sometimes I pre-cook it, like my stuffed peppers. I use up my onions and like lasagnas, different things like that. You can pre-dice your onions. You can freeze those. A lot of people do not take advantage of freezing their stuff. I have never if you can throw carrots in a crock pot meal in a bag, you can throw plain carrots by themselves for a soup and put them in the freezer. I especially feel like if this is going to be the amount that it takes for me to get through 30 days, it's only going to be in the freezer for 30 days. It's going to keep it fresh. It's going to keep it for me, and I save money in the process. In fact, I do want to point out too that when I bought these here carrots, I actually saved $5 because I cut up my own carrots instead of buying them pre-cut up. So I just wanted to point that out, that I did actually save money by buying carrots this way. Of course, it took me like 10 minutes to peel them, but I got caught up on some YouTube videos doing it. I have my baggies of greens all prepared and ready for the freezer. If you don't know how I freeze my greens, I have a video on that. It's very simple. I just put greens into individual baggies. That's enough for to make a big shake. And instead of wasting my money and buying freezer bags, I put all of those little baggies in one large freezer bag that I reuse every month or whenever I need to refill it. And it's been a while since I've had to refill it, so I got some fresh greens here ready for shakes. I've got some celery already washed and cut up. I have my peppers for my Philly chicken sandwiches. I have, let's see, this one and this one back here. Is that right? Yeah. Those are for my turkey stews. This is for broccoli soup this month, and then this is the excess carrots that are already washed and cut up that will go in my fridge. And that concludes all of my vegetables. So now I have my batter going to make my banana breads. And I have my pans already greased, and I have my oven is preheating on 350 degrees. My banana breads are ready to go into the oven. If you all want the recipe, I'll include it down below in the description box so that you guys can make the banana bread as well. While my bread is finishing up baking, I went ahead and made my drinks of my iced tea. My last item for monthly prep is finished, and my house smells really, really good, and I have to say that my banana bread comes out perfect every single time, and I love this recipe, which I'll make sure I link in the description box down below for you all. I hope you all enjoyed this month's monthly prep. There is nothing like the feeling of being ready for your meal planning and your meals for every day. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of effort to be ready for a month worth of meals, but I can tell you financially and just honestly, just I don't have to stress about it. It's already taken care of. I know what we're going to have every night of the month, and it's awesome. I don't have to worry about running to the grocery store, and it totally works for this family. I hope you all enjoyed seeing this video. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to my channel and hit that like button and give me a thumbs up on this video. If you all have any questions about anything, don't hesitate to leave me a comment down below. I'll try to get back with you as soon as I can, and I will be seeing you guys again soon. Bye bye.